Go on, everybody. I am your Jamaican Queen, Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is Why Caught Alive. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday, which means, is it Thursday? Yes, it is. It is Thursday, which means tomorrow is Friday, which means we are super, super close to the weekend. And on Sunday, y'all, I am going to go see Melody Cherie at at the event that she will be at in here in Florida. Luckily it works out where I'm just gonna make it a road trip with the family, but I'm hopeful that I'll be able to record some things. I did pay for the VIP tickets so that I can go backstage and do the meet and greet with Melody. And if she's up to it, I'm hoping that I can get, maybe an interview, or if not an interview, I'll be able to record the moment and I can ask her even one question on the record so that I can give y'all some behind the scenes from the event. So keep your fingers crossed for me, y'all, because I paid for this event yesterday because, hi to everyone that's listening. Sorry, I tend to just go off, y'all. But anyways, so I paid to go to the event, paid for the tickets for this event. It's the Look Who is in Business 2024 event in Manatee County, Florida, right? So at first I wasn't going to go to this event because the host for the event plus Melody, they have been promoting it for some time now. But I was holding off on buying the tickets because I wanted to see if Mellocon was going to take place for the summer. So I held on for as long as I could. And then Melody said Mellocon wasn't happening. So I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and buy the tickets. And then someone who I was supposed to ride with to the event, unfortunately, couldn't make it. And I was like, okay, how am I going to get there? I could fly in, but the closest airport is like Tampa, I think. And from Tampa to the event is like a 45-minute drive. I don't want to be driving anywhere that I don't know. So I was like, how am I going to do this? So I wasn't going to go. But then finally, my husband and I, we decided to make it a family trip because we also have family in the Tampa area. And then yesterday, I saw Melody post that there is an event in Huntsville on the 10th of August. And I was like, God dang it. Because if I'd seen that post before I paid for the tickets for this event, then I would have been going to the Huntsville event. I might still go to Huntsville, honestly, but I'm just saying. I was like, God dang it, Melody. So as I said, y'all, fingers crossed that I get to have a chat with Melody on camera at this event that I'll be attending on Sunday. So anyways, we're here to talk about Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly and some things that were said during their recap of Saturday's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So first things first, Heavenly, as y'all know, I don't see it for Heavenly. And she likes to say that she is a relationship expert. She took a course and whatever. But for me, you cannot call yourself a relationship expert and then spend majority of your time speaking negatively or putting negative energy over people's relationships. I think that if you are if you are, well, school reopens on the 12th here in Florida, Natisha. So on the 12th of August is the first day of school here in South Florida. I don't know there's some schools where it's different, but I know for my area of Florida, school reopens on the 12th. Excuse me. So as I was saying, Heavenly likes to call herself a relationship expert. She said it during this recap of the episode. And she is one of the most negative people when it comes to other people's relationships. And I think that if you are going to call yourself a relationship expert, then you should be able to see pitfalls in other people's relationship, and instead of being negative, give them advice or, well, yeah, advice or the tools that they need in order to fix those pitfalls in their relationships. The way she speaks on Letitia Lunsford, aka Sweet Tea, the way she speaks on Sweet Tea and Dr. G's marriage, it doesn't tell me that Heavenly is a relationship expert. As I said before, it's okay to see that something is flawed because nothing is perfect, right? Nothing at all is perfect. But instead of being negative, give these newlyweds the tools that you feel like they will need to have a lasting marriage. What is negativity going to do but push them further and further and further and further into a deep hole? I don't like that about Heavenly. So I need for her to stop calling herself a relationship expert, because it seems like she's an expert in being negative about people's relationship. Now, Heavenly said on this review that the people, aka us, the fans of Love and Marriage Huntsville, the viewers of Love and Marriage Huntsville, that we want to see Martel and Destiny together. Now, everybody who is listening right now, please tell me, when did y'all go tell Heavenly that y'all wanted to see Martel and Destiny together for this show? She said that she has seen Martel and Destiny together in person. She said she doesn't feel that they've been intimate, but she feels like if Martel was supposed to push up on Destiny like that, that Destiny would fold. And I have to say, I agree with her. I agree. However, I've never seen not one fan of this show, whether they are a fan of Melody, whether they dislike Melody, whether they're a fan of Destiny, I've not seen not one fan of this show ever fix their mouth to say they want to see Destiny and Martel in a relationship for this show. So if one of y'all listening right now, put that in the comment section under Dr. Heavenly's Instagram. Please let me know. Because she said the fans want it. And I would like to know the fans that she is speaking of. Carlos said that the whole Trisha Martel situation was a scheme that Martel set up. And here's why he said it. He said it because, in his opinion, if Martel had entered Stormy's home and had just said, "Hey, Trish, nice to see you again," then everything that we know now about Trish and Martel's relationship and these allegations surrounding the timeline of events. He's saying if Martel had just acknowledged that he knew Trish at Stormy's house, then we wouldn't have known all these things. But I beg to differ. I think we were always going to find this out. If Martel had walked in and said, "Hey Trish, what's up? Nice to see you," then Stormy would have been like, "Y'all know each other? How y'all know each other?" Stormy would have still, in my opinion, tried to make them knowing each other more than, okay, we grew up in the same town, I knew his brother, we went to the same schools. I think she would have made it more than that, and eventually it would have come out that there's more to the story. Now, I have a whole theory about the Stormy, Trisha, Ariane Curry, Martel of it all, but I'm going to save that for another video. But I'll just say this so that y'all come back for that video. Stormy has known Trisha for 10 years. Over 10 years. That's what Trisha said, right? Love and Marriage Huntsville has not been on TV for 10 years. Follow me. For whatever reason, Stormy is affiliated in some way, shape, or form with somebody that Martel has either been intimate with or has wanted to be intimate with. She used to do Ariane's hair. Coincidentally, Courtney's best friend is also Ariane's best friend. So what Stormy wants us to believe is that her and her husband have done no pillow talking from the time of a Marriage Huntsville has been on the show to when we found out who Ariane is and we found out all about, the infidelity in the Denholtz marriage. Stormy wants us to believe that with Courtney sharing a best friend with Ariane, that Ariane wasn't chatting it up with her best friend, who was also chatting with Courtney, who in turn is going to pillow talk with his wife. Am I making sense, y'all? Because I might sound like I'm ranting, but I feel like I'm making sense. And then you top that off with Stormy and Trish are best friends. So were they not talking about Martel at all for the over 10 years that they've known each other? Especially when this show started to air in that small town of Huntsville, where everybody knows everybody. Everybody went to school with everybody. I'm just saying, and I'm going to break it down. Because at some point, before Stormy even got on the show, I'm sure that she was chatting it up with her client, her then client, Coleslaw, because Coleslaw said Stormy used to do her hair. I don't know how true that is. And that they used to be in that salon, kiki and clowning Melody. But at what point was this? Was this before everybody knew that Ariane was the mistress? Or was it after that? Inquiring minds want to know. But again, I'm going to break this down nicely in an accurate context video coming soon. Right? So Carlos feels like if Martel was just upfront when he walked into Stormy's house, that we wouldn't know all that we know now. Heavenly feels like Trisha, if she didn't have relations with Martel yet, she definitely still wants to have relations with Martel. Because the fact that Trish said, I don't train men, but she still decided to train Martel. And she decided to train Martel and not tell Ken that, hey, I'm going to train this dude, but I just want you to know that there was a point in time during the Ponderosa that I went over to his house. Nothing happened. We've known each other since we're kids. She's not had that conversation with her man, but she's out here training Martel, a man, and she says she doesn't train males. So as far as Heavenly sees it, Trisha still wants to be up on Martel. And I kind of believe it. In the same way that I believe that Destiny might have a little crush on Martel too. It's my opinion. Carlos says that after the show's 3-week hiatus because of the Olympics, and he said that he doesn't have anything to do with scheduling. I guess the network decided that during the Olympics, it's best that the show not be on for those 3 weeks. I know in Jamaica, the Olympics is a big deal, but it's a big deal for specific events. So for like the 400 meters, the 200-meter race, the 100 meters, the relay, right? Those are the events that Jamaican people, like, we will sit up all night to watch. I don't know if America is a big like track and field country in terms of like the fan base. And I don't think that the demographic that watches Love and Marriage Huntsville cares about the Olympics. So I don't know. I feel like that's a cop-out. But he said that they're going on a 3-week hiatus because of the Olympics. And then when they come back, we're going to get 3 more episodes, y'all, of this part A of the season. And then they're going to go on another break. And then when they come back, we're going to get part B of the season. And that's going to be 15 episodes. Does that not sound ridiculous to y'all? And to that, Heavenly said, y'all are the only show that I know who does that. And I agree, because it sounds dumb. Why do we need 15 more episodes? 15, 18 more episodes of this dumb season, where everything just seems a little bit scripted. It feels like they scripted in the mellometers and they said, we don't have any personal issues with Melody. We're not beefing with Melody. She's not saying anything about us on social media. Everything is cool and calm in these Love and Marriage Huntsville filming streets. But we need some drama surrounding Melody because that's what the cast does. They like to pick and pick and pick at her, in my opinion. But they didn't have a good reason to pick at her this season. Well, they've never had a good reason, but whatever. So what do? They say, okay, we're going to make the issue the mellometers, and our Melody will have to be windmilling on set for her fan base, which then is going to cause conflict on the show because she's defending her fan base. The fact that Martel is still on the show is disgusting, in my opinion. And I could probably push the envelope and say it's kind of anti-woman that he's still on the show. And the fact that Carlos fixed his mouth to say, oh, it's hard to hate Martel because he's good TV, that says a lot. But guys, we have 18 more episodes to go. 3 more when they come back in the middle of August. Then they're going to break and then probably not come back until like maybe September. End of September, early October. That's crazy. And he said they are still filming. These people don't get a break, child. And then they're mad when Melody says, after filming, when we get these little 2 weeks, I need to be by myself and not talk to any of y'all for a little bit. They get mad. But it seems like Carlos has them filming all year round. 18 more episodes of this mess. And he said that when we come back from this 3-week hiatus, we are going to hear Destiny, I guess, set the record straight regarding her relationship with Martel. And I feel like she's going to be addressing Melody on the girls trip because we know Melody has said that she don't know what Destiny has been up to. And there have been things that has been put out there regarding Martel and Destiny's friendship, aka relationship, or whatever you might call it. So Carlos says when we come back after these 3 weeks, we're going to hear Destiny addressing that whole topic. Now, Melody already told us that during the season, her and Destiny had a quick moment and that was it, and it was over. So for Destiny to be out here acting like there's beef when really there's none is crazy. Because Melody already told us during the season, we're going to see like a quick moment, maybe a quick heated moment between her and Destiny, and it's going to be over. So I'm thinking that heated moment that Melody referenced some weeks ago is going to be about the whole Destiny and Martel of it all. So I know I haven't been watching the season, but I am going to tune in for this girls trip and then I'm going to be out again. Because I feel like the girls trip is going to be a mess and I'm going to need to have accurate context to speak on it. I don't want to have bits and pieces from clips that I see online or the narrative Carlos is presenting in these reviews. I want to see it for myself so I can break it down. So when the girls trip happens, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm going to watch. I might not watch it live, but I'm going to watch the full episode so that I can break it down. Finally, I have another accurate context episode coming up regarding Black and the business owners in close proximity to Black. This is going to be an investigative piece, y'all, that I'm working on. I'm reaching out to as many of these businesses as I can, and I'm hopeful that someone will be willing to give a statement, whether on or off the record, so that we can actually have some clarity on statements that Marsan and Letitia made on Saturday's episode, where they claimed that their business is being targeted by other businesses in the area. That's what they said. And it's the same thing that Carlos repeated on during this recap. He painted the picture that Marcel and Tisha, they're just these great Black business owners, and people are trying to ruin their business, and that the other businesses close to them, they just don't like Black or whatever. They don't like Tisha and Marcel. So they are calling the city on them to get their events closed down. And Marcel and Tisha, they are trying to create generational wealth. They are trying to turn Black into this big conglomerate. He actually said that. And people are just being so hateful, and people need to stop it and go through the proper legal channels if they have an issue. And this is my problem with us, with some of us as Black people. We feel like if you are a Black business owner, then you should be able to get away with things on the strength of you are Black. But I need Carlos and Marcel and Letitia to realize that being Black people doesn't mean that you escape accountability when you don't do things the right way. So Carlos King, he wants the other business owners in close proximity to the Black Cigar Lounge to go through, quote unquote, proper legal channels if they have an issue with the parking lot situation as it relates to Black. But on the other hand, he's not saying that Marcel and Letitia should also go through the proper legal channels to make sure that they have whatever special permits that is required for parking when they are having these huge events at Black. Most clubs and most lounges, y'all, they operate at night. When they're having big events, they host these events at night, especially if they're on like a strip mall or a plaza or whatever. And the reason they do this is because during the daytime, you have all these other businesses on the plaza or on the strip mall. And these other businesses, they require, or they also need to utilize the parking space. Now, if Black is hosting an event for homecoming weekend, and I said this, I think, on Sunday, if Black is hosting an event on a Saturday afternoon, when there are 5-6 other businesses opened on that same strip mall, and Black has all these people coming in for their day party, and these hundreds of people, they need parking. And so these people, they're parking their cars in front of these other businesses. How are the customers or the clients of these other business owners, how are they going to get into their establishment? I did research, y'all. And in the state of Alabama, when you are having certain events, you have to go to the city and get a special parking permit. If you want to serve alcohol in Alabama at your bar, at your lounge, and you want to do it before a certain time in the day, you have to go and get a special alcohol license to serve alcohol in the afternoon. So if Letitia and Marcel, in my opinion, didn't go through the proper legal channels to make sure that they have adequate parking for the people who are attending their events, and another business owner on that same strip mall who is being inconvenienced says, I am going to call the city, or I'm going to call the police so that they can shut this event down, because I too need to make money. I too need to create generational wealth. Then how are they wrong? Carlos wants to do this huge monologue talking about Black business and ruining Black businesses, and they're trying to create generational wealth, and they're trying to set up a business that their children can run in the future. But you're not talking about some of those other businesses who probably are owned by Black people as well, who are being inconvenienced by a parking lot situation that's being created by Marcel and Letitia. Because in my opinion, they feel like because they're on TV, that they can just say, we're hosting an event on Friday afternoon, not have adequate parking, and their fellow business owners, their neighbors, should just deal with it. That's not right. And so I wish Carlos had given full context instead of trying to just make it seem like these other business owners are just calling because we don't like that this Black couple is making money. Because that makes no sense. If y'all go on Google Maps, y'all will see that that strip plaza that Black is on is small AF. There is not enough parking. So that means that some of their guests, they have to park across the road, in next door plazas, maybe in the churchyard, maybe in the funeral home yard. We don't know. I'm just speculating now. So if these people are like, no, 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 we can't have this. We can't be having a funeral over here and you're having a party over there, and all the guests from your party are parking in my funeral home, and they're grieving people trying to find parking. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's what happened, but just imagine that. There's a cabinet maker next door to Black. Imagine he or she has clients coming in, but Black is hosting a day party for homecoming. And so when their customers pull up to come look at some cabinets, they don't have parking, because all the parking spots are being used up by the guests over there at Black who are there for the homecoming weekend party. Think about that for a second, y'all, and tell me if that actually sounds okay. There's a print shop next door to Black. So if their customers want to come in to get some t-shirts printed, some programs printed, some invitations printed, you're telling me that these people will have to park up the road at the Walmart and walk all the way back down to the printer shop because all the customers at Black have used up all the parking spots in that tiny strip mall for a party? There's a variety store next to Black. So their customers can't go in because there's a party at Black. There's a music shop next to Black. So if Black is hosting a party in the daytime when these businesses are open, their customers, what? They have to park on the other side of the road at the church or at the funeral home because all their parking spots is taken up by party goers over there at Black? Does that actually sound okay? And if that sounds okay to Marcel and Tisha, then that's a problem. If that sounds okay to Carlos, that is also a problem. Go through the proper channels down there in the city of Alabama, get the parking permits, and then these other businesses won't have anything to say because you have the city on your side because you went and got the proper documentation so that you can have your event and have safe parking for your guests. And parking that doesn't infringe on the business activities of your neighbors over there at that strip mall. I'm on the side of any of those business owners who said, y'all aren't going to stop my business from functioning efficiently because y'all feel like because y'all are TV stars, you can just throw a party together and not have adequate parking. I'm on their side. So I'm hopeful, y'all, that some of these business owners are willing to either go on record or not, but still give me a statement regarding these allegations. My questions are, is it true that y'all are targeting Black? Because that's what Carlos King and the Scots have made it sound like, that Black is being targeted. Are you targeting them because they are a Black company or a Black business? Have you tried to talk to the owners of Black about the parking lot situation? Have y'all actually been calling the city on them? Because they could probably be making this up, telling lies on these business people, saying that they're calling the city on them when the people don't have a clue what they're talking about. So fingers crossed, y'all. I've emailed a couple of them already. I don't want to call from my phone because, I don't have a second phone. But I might end up having to make some calls just so that I can do this accurate context episode quickly. So fingers crossed, because I want to bring you guys accurate context, especially because I understand how these other businesses can be impacted. Because I did the Google Maps. I've seen how small that strip mall is. There's no way they can host an event with 100 people, 50 people, and provide adequate parking for everybody. So I can see how these other businesses would be impacted, and probably why they would call the city and say, hey, do they have a parking permit for this event? Do they have a liquor license to be hosting a day party? Because if not, I need y'all to shut it down because my customers can't find a parking spot. I can see why. And I don't think that has anything to do with hate or targeting as much as it has to do with these other people also trying to protect their bottom line. So anyways, y'all, that's all I have to say about Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly's review. Thanks to everybody that was in the yard. Mary, good morning, sweet essence. How are you? Mary says most neighbors hate Chick-fil-A because of long lines. However, still operable. Follow proper protocol. Agreed. I told a story, I think it was in somebody else's chat, that the Chick-fil-A near me, there is a Sonic next door to that Chick-fil-A. And the Sonic, they put up barriers so that when you are entering Chick-fil-A, you cannot drive through the Sonic parking lot. You have to go all the way around and enter through the Chick-fil-A entrance. It would be easy to just, let's say you're coming from, let's say you're traveling on the right hand side of the road. It would be easy to just make that right at that Sonic and then make a left and go into Chick-fil-A. But no, they said y'all gonna have to go all the way around. Y'all are gonna have to enter right and go straight and go around to get in the line for Chick-fil-A. And it is what it is. Chick-fil-A can't fight Sonic and say, y'all need to allow our customers to go through your parking lot. It's easier. They can't do that. That would be unfair. So it's the same way Black needs to understand that they can't be using up other people's parking spots for their events. And that's what I think was happening. All right. So thank y'all again for tuning into this Why Caught Alive episode. Please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like my content needs some more crowd. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. Follow me at How I See It on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, and at How I See It TV on TikTok. Replay gang, drop in the comment section below and tell me how you see things too. Until next time, y'all, remember to walk good. Have a great Thursday. Bye.